Shemel Shai. Yahweh Shemel Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Shah La War.
Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despised thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his young brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. All right. And what I want to get into today, dealing with the problem has been identified. Okay. The problem of the planet Earth has been identified. Okay. And just says, Yahweh Shai said in the book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 22, it said, for everything that is hidden will eventually be brought into the open, and every secret will be brought to light. Okay. And the Lord deals with timing, and in the Lord's timing, certain things are revealed. Okay. And we in the time now where the problem of the planet Earth was always been the problem is Esau Edom. Now this devil, he has enjoyed, being able to sit in the seat of morale, and point the finger at everyone else. Okay. Calling everyone else a problem, a criminal, a terrorist, a this or that, inhumane, this leader, that leader, this man, that guy, these people, So he's been able to sit in the seat of morale, okay, and point the finger at everyone else. But now we're in a time where the spirit is revealing this nigga was the problem the whole time. Okay, there's no bigger criminal than Esau Edom, the nation of Edomite, the Edomite males that run the earth. Okay, the Edomite males in general are the problem with the planet Earth. Okay, on every level. Okay, this nigga is the biggest criminal. All right, he's the biggest unaliver. Okay, nobody has more bodies than Esau. Okay, when you go to his wars, when you go into his peaceutical industry, okay, the okay, and you go into the drugs, he's the biggest dope boy. Okay, he's the biggest arms dealer. You see, so this man has more bodies than anybody, and the scriptures back it up. Okay, so what's happening? As the scriptures say, read again, Mark 4:22. For everything that is hidden. In fact, let me read this in the AMP. Because the Lord deals with timing. All right. Then shall the man of sin be revealed. Okay, and we're seeing this man being revealed in every way. It's Mark 4:22 in the AMP. For nothing is hidden except to be revealed, nor has anything been kept secret, but that it will come to light. That is, the things are hidden only temporarily until the appropriate time comes, all right, for them to be known. Okay, and we're in the time of it being known that this nigga is the problem, Esau Edom. Right before the devil goes with his move, and tried to set up this MOTB system, all right, his new world order, well, he's been ousted, man. Okay, he's been called out like never before. All right, and everything that this devil was doing, and trying to do is being put on blast, man. Okay, so no Israelite can say they didn't know that this nigga wasn't right. Okay, even his own self, even his own tactics to try to keep people distracted, he has to tell on himself. Okay, the whole Elk files. Okay, so the Lord is making it plain that this nigga ain't right. Okay, and if you follow this man and go get that MOTB, okay, you're deserving of the punishment written in the scriptures, which is the wrath of the Most High without mixture, man. Okay, so you go here. Let's go back to Genesis, because what was this nigga given? Okay, the sword. All right, that was the way. Okay, and you go here, as he was given the fatness of the earth. Okay, it's a blessing. Okay, but he was given it through a sword. This is I get this in the NLT. Let me see. I'll get it KJ. This is Genesis 27:39. All right. Go back. You always gotta go back to the origin of this nigga blessing, man, to understand how this nigga operates today. You have to go back to the origin of the blessing, show you that the Bible, is timeless, man. Okay. Genesis 27:39. And Isaac his father answered, saying unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So he was blessed with, the earth. Okay, the rulership of the earth. But how will he maintain the earth? Through warfare. Okay, and he would do it unjustly. He will wage unjust wars throughout his rulership, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay, which is devil. We've had the devil down before, dark ages. Okay, the devil was irrelevant. You see, and Jake was in authority. Okay, the Byzantine Empire, the kingdoms of Europe, all right, even the kingdoms of Russia, the czars, okay, with Jake, the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal and Spain, it was all Jake, the Moors, okay. But then the devil, he was allowed, to emerge, because that's when he really came into a blessing during the Renaissance, when he really got the fatness of the earth, and he will maintain that through the sword, and that's what he's doing now. Okay, you look at the devil 2026, okay, and the devil has already bombed, 2 countries, rumors of a third, okay, removed the president of another country, okay, before January was out. You see? So this man has been revealed as a problem. This is why these nations, all right, are making an alliance to take this nigga out, man. Okay? So Esau, Edom had the problem on the earth has been identified, man. Okay? This man lives by that sword, and he lives by it unjustly, man. He's a bully with that sword, man. Okay? He's the cause of all conflict on the planet Earth, man. Internationally, nationally, okay, locally, domestically. He's the source of it. Okay? This man has made a culture of death and war. Everybody's at war. You look on the YouTube, everybody's at war. Okay? Everybody's in the spirit of war. That's why you go here. Let's get this real quick. Everybody's in the spirit of just continual war under the rulership of Esau, man. You look on YouTube, what is arguing, the left versus the right, men versus women, this versus that. Okay? Niggas fighting mad, arguing about LeBron and Kobe. Just everything's a goddamn war. Okay, it's a war. Where can you take a woman on the first date? It's a war about it. Like, god damn. Okay, Jake get a passport. A war. Now it's a whole war behind it. Okay, everything's a war under the rulership of the devil, man. Okay, because that's the spirit that he pushes in the earth. Okay, you go here. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10. Start at verse 1. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And this is the exact opposite of what we got. All right, we have a foolish man that destroys his people, and we have a government of chaos. Okay, nobody knows how the money works. Okay, nobody knows how the government really works. You don't know if this nigga breaking laws or not, what's lawful, what's unlawful. This nigga got 900 pages for one law. Okay, there's confusion, it's chaotic. Okay, they break their own rules. Okay. Verse 2, it says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein, man. And you look at the elites, and their officers will be likened, unto these politicians, man, these presidents, prime ministers, government officials, man. Okay, they're crooked, they're crooks. Okay, they're criminals. Okay, they're warmongers. Okay, you got these government officials that make so much money off of war that they're always, all right, lobbying for war. Okay, so the core of this man's empire, which is Amalek, these elite banking families and these elite families, man, all right, these Amalekites, okay, they're wicked to the core. They're violent to the core. Amalek has a for sure bloodthirst, man, and he's a coward too, man. That's why it's a very cowardly society, man. Just full of violence. Okay, the value of life is nothing. Like Cain, he didn't value life. Okay, he unalived Abel because he felt some type of way, and that's the spirit that runs the earth today. You can get unalive because you made somebody feel some type of way. Okay, you have such thing as drill culture. Why is that even a culture, man? Everything that's supposed to be about life, this man has turned into death, man. Okay, sex. He has put death within sex. Okay, which is supposed to bring life. Okay, now you deal with a woman. There's the dynamic of death. Okay, the food supposed to be your medicine in life. Death. He turned it to death. Okay, the air you breathe supposed to be life. You know, death. You see, family, all these the community, all these things are supposed. There's neighborhoods with high homicide rates. The community supposed to forward life. The neighborhood, that's all it's supposed to forward life. Now you have neighborhoods that are war zones, and niggas bragging about it, and Esau got the camera on these niggas, man, and financing these niggas, man. Okay, niggas is calling their cities after war zones, Chirac, after the Iraq war zone. Well, who created the Iraq war zone? Esau. Who they mimicking? Down here in Jackson, South Jackson, these niggas call it South Afghanistan. After Afghanistan, mimicking who? Who they're mimicking? Okay, the man is sin, death itself, Esau, man. Okay, so the problem has been identified. Okay, it says an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited, man. And Esau was the unwise king that destroyed his own people, man. Okay, everything this man does is for death. Here it is. You go and you know this man's, you know, all these commercials about, you know, these different pills. Okay, and you go into the side effects and they worse than the actual problem. Okay, this man benefits off keeping you sick. You see, he poisons the food. Okay, which causes you to need, you know, medical attention. Then his you gotta be careful, but his pharmaceutical, all right, pharmaceutical industry. Okay, it's nothing but a slow death. The food is a slow death. The thing that he gets you for your health, the pharmaceutical industry is slow death. Okay, this is a very unwise king, man. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get this, and then I got a quick video I want to play dealing with the problem being identified, man. So let's go here. I think it's 19. This is 2nd Ezra 6:19. It says, I started at 18. It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, and the Lord's getting ready to visit this earth for judgment. Okay, and mercy for the hopeful elect. Okay, that's how Yahweh Shai is being sent to the earth. Okay, as a minister of punishment and also a minister of mercy for the elect's sake. Okay, the elect of Israel. Okay, verse 19, and I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. Okay, so as we're coming to the end of our captivity, man, there's an inquisition being made against the devil, man. All eyes on this nigga, man, and he can't shake the spotlight. He can't shake the inquisition, man. This nigga being at every turn, this nigga's being questioned, man. But it begins with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, okay, that's been put on the prophets, man. Now let's get this word inquisition And then Baratazar will segue to the quick video. But you get this word inquisition. All right, inquisition says a period of prolonged and intensive questioning or investigation. Okay, so it's a harsh scrutiny. Okay, questioning, cross-examination, interrogation, man. The devil's being interrogated in his own kingdom, man. You know, the scripture said, wisdom shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Okay, and a part of that knowledge increasing and you know, things running to and fro, okay, is this devil's wickedness, man. It's being ousted, man. Fact finding. Okay, grilling. You see, it said fact finding. What they go into. All right, it says especially of a committee or its activity having the purpose of discovering and establishing the facts of an issue, man. The truth of the matter, man. And the Lord has his prophets bringing out the truth of the matter, man. And then you have, you know, these certain truthers and, you know, alternative news sites. They're bringing out the facts of the matter, the facts of the issue, man. Certain insiders that, you know, seeing how wicked it was, and, you know, now they're whistleblowers. Okay. It said the discovery and establishment of the facts, all right, of an issue, man. Okay, so Esau Edom is searched out, man. He's being searched out, and he's finna be judged. Okay, this is a courtroom setting, and this nigga is being called out. Charges being brought up against him. The evidence is clear. He's guilty. All right, not only of his past and present, but what he's trying to do. This new world order, that's his biggest offense ever. To try to replace the Most High with technology, that's his biggest offense ever, man. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's play this quick vid. All right, and this is also part of his own tongue falling up on them, man. Okay, because if you got any ounce of honesty in you, man, all right, and you look at this system and you look at Esau's track record, man, you will have to come to the conclusion that this nigga is the problem. Okay, always has been. All right, so let's play this.
This country's immigration problem pales in comparison to the white male problem. If you were to take all of the white male dominance and violence out of the American equation, you would have a country that is far more peaceful than it is right now. If you think that immigration is the United States' biggest problem, you're not paying attention. The white male problem, especially when it comes to violence, especially when it comes to violence to women, is all white men. The numbers are insane. And yet it is the white man who is perpetrating all of the violence in the immigration conversation. ICE is led by white men, predominantly. Donald Trump, an old white man who is determining the consciousness of this country and swaying a lot of younger white men and older white men who were already, you know, predators, and in the belief that because of patriarchy, they're entitled to certain luxuries, a certain way of living, a certain quality of life, a certain standard that is completely made up. We took this country by force, by blood. The last thing that we should be doing is preaching about immigration when this is literally a country made of immigrants. And when you see white men trying to sway the political process, try to sway public perception and say that immigration is the problem and that's why we're in this situation, what they're really doing is misdirecting you from the real problem, which is them. I'm a white man. I can speak very clearly to the entitlements that I have had that other people don't have even now. And if we aren't addressing those problems, we are not addressing what is wrong with America. And I'm sorry if you're a white man and you feel like you're being attacked. This country was literally made by white men for white men in the 50s, maybe before that, after World War II. That the model of society we have was made by white men for white men. That needs to change now. That needs to be acknowledged now. That needs to be transformed now, which takes precedence over immigration. Is there an immigration problem in this country? Sure. But let's deal with that after we deal with the bigger problems causing the majority of violence in this country.
The truth shall set you free. You know? So there's no bigger problem on the planet Earth than the Edomite male that's running the earth. Okay? This nigga is the problem. And see, you can't get around it anymore. You just have to be in denial. Okay, at this point, you just have to be in complete denial of what it is, man. But this man has showed himself to be a goddamn problem, man. That's why these nations are gearing up for war. You know, even other Edomites are getting ready to go against other Edomites because it's like, look, nigga, you going too goddamn far. Okay, these small hats. Okay, and America is mainly the main two that's being isolated. Okay, because the Lord got them set for destruction. America gonna be annihilated, turned to a desert, a perpetual desert. Okay, and small hats. Okay, in that land, they're gonna be obliterated out of their land. Okay, and that land is getting prepared for its true people to come back, but it has to be cleansed. Okay, through war. Okay, so the small hats in America are going to get the worst end of this third world war. Okay, but there's no denying, all right, that the so-called white man is the problem. You know, and you can point at, you know, the welfare queens and these young niggas and, you know, the migrants and, you know, the cartels. But guess what? He orchestrated that. They're a product of his rulership. Okay, that nigga intentionally, all right, made what you call a welfare queen. He intentionally made what you call a young nigga. This nigga orchestrates the cartel. The cartels work for him. Okay, the cartels work for the CIA. The CIA is the real El Jefe. Okay, which is the boss in Spanish. You know, Jake had to get cute on y'all. You know, but let's go get a few precepts. I'm going to get this in the NLT. Yeah, we'll jump up. So this is Isaiah 32:5. It says, in that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. All right, and this man is an ungodly fool. All right, here it is. You got Sam Altman, which profession himself to be Jewish, you know, which he's when they say they're Jewish, they're saying they're the chosen people of the Most High. But when he was asked about the Most High, he danced around. He didn't give a straight answer. And he leaned more towards that he don't believe in the higher power. All right, if it can't be explained by his physics. Okay, this is the ungodly man. It's an ungodly man that runs the earth. He's an ungodly fool, a goddamn fool. Okay, Esau is a goddamn fool, man. Okay, he's an ungodly fool that's running the earth in complete wickedness, man. So what we're seeing in that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. Scoundrels will not be respected, man. Okay, because he doesn't have that respect, okay, that he once had in the earth, man. He's not being looked at as a hero, man. Okay, he's been called out as the problem. You know, is he trying to still point the finger? No, he's still under inquisition. He can't shake the spirit, okay, that's calling this man out. Okay, and that's why he just wants to come and enforce censorship. Okay, he wants to monopolize all information so he can, all right, control the narrative, man. Okay, because he doesn't have the sway that he once had, the pull that he once had. Okay, he's still able to, deceive the simple, because the scripture says the simple believe every word, but he can't shake prophecy and him being exposed, man. Okay, so we in that day, man, where he's been looked as an ungodly fool. Okay, not as a hero. You see, and he's been called out. The fact that he's been put in inquisition in his own kingdom, showing that he's losing respect in the earth, man. And these nations see they can't deal with this man. No sense of trying to make no deals with him. You got a meeting, a peace agreement meeting, and he blow up the hotel. Okay, you have a ceasefire agreement with this nigga, and he blow up. Okay, the banquet. You like, God damn, nigga, airstrike the banquet. You like, damn, this nigga 20 minutes late. Bloom. This the type of nigga he is, man. This is what this nigga do in reality. You see? But then this nigga land the jet, okay? Put on the suit, all right? And tell you the problem. Boy, this nigga is the devil, man. Okay? But we're in the time of judgment. You see what Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is getting ready to bring this nigga down, man. Okay? Let's go here. We always get it. Matter of fact, yeah. It's Revelation 11:18. It says the nations were filled with wrath, but now the time of your wrath has come. Okay? The time of judgment. Okay? It is time to judge the dead, these heathen, these nations. Okay? Along with 2/3 are lumped up in there as well, because they're spiritually dead, man. Okay? Only the elect, all right, have true life in them, which is the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Okay? Everything outside that is in the dead state. Okay? Beginning with you Edomites and you heathens, man. Okay? It says, and reward your servants, the prophets, all right, as well as your holy people and all who fear your name, from the least to the greatest. And this is the first fruits, and the rest of the 1/3, all right, getting ready to be rewarded, man. Okay? Those that have came back to righteousness. Okay? Those that thirst for righteousness, man. Because it's time for righteousness to be established in the earth. You see, righteousness is phase 1. We're going to enjoy all the benefits that come with rulership, okay, after righteousness is established and the standard in the earth, man. Okay, because that's when you can really enjoy, all right, the perks of rulership, okay, when righteousness is a standard. Okay, because this devil, he can't even enjoy his own rulership, man. This nigga got to constantly, all right, lie and deceive, and this lie, that narrative. He got to try to fool you here. He got to try to distract you here. He got to go to war with them. He got to go change this government. Okay, he just changed that government. This ain't working like he thought. Let's change it again. Let's lie about them. Let's take this resource down. We can't refine this oil, but we done did all this wickedness and killed these people, and we can't even refine the oil. So let's go from there. Let's do that. Let's get the chip. Let's go in their brain. Go 5G, 6G. Let's bring monkeypox out. No, that ain't working like we thought. Let's bring it out. Nigga can't even enjoy his own kingdom because he's so goddamn wicked. Okay, like a badass child. Okay, it's always into some shit, man. Okay, it says it is time to destroy. It said it is time to destroy all who have caused destruction on the earth, man. And that's Esau Edom. Okay, this man has destroyed animal life, plant life, the earth itself, rivers, lakes, people, countries. Okay, everything that can be destroyed, this man has destroyed it, man. Okay, people on the internet, I don't feel human. This nigga here, man. You know, nigga just layoffs and economy trash on purpose, man. Okay, CEO make 182 million a year, but the employees, okay, make 48,000 out. I mean, a year, man. This nigga make 182 million. Employees make 48,000 a year, man. Okay, and then this nigga get a 10% raise at the end of the year. Okay, and they give you 28 cents. This man he just destruction, man. Destructive. He destroys people's psyche. People are psychologically destroyed. Mental health is finished. I think matter of fact, let me see real quick. I think the same brother Yaqua got another video. Let me see. It's another quick short. I think the brother got on the channel. Give me a second, pull it up. Yeah, I think this. So let's go here real quick. So this is in January. All right, so let's play this.
So let's pause real quick. Look at this. Over 80,000 suicides. And we only 4 weeks into the year. 4 weeks. That's a lot of motherfucking people, bro. We talking about families, friends, story that never got finished. And what's scary is that how quiet this kind of pain can be. You feel what I'm saying? Most people don't post it. They don't announce it. They just carry it until they can't. And then all of a sudden, they just crash the fuck out.
80,000 in 4 weeks. Okay, self-unaliving, man. The earth was created to be a paradise, man. But you got people now saying that they go to sleep and don't wake up. They good. This is how people are talking. All right. In the kingdom, it's supposed to be so high IQ. It's supposed to be so transcendent. Okay. This nigga supposed to have it, so figured out. Okay. But you got people saying, look, if they go to sleep and don't wake up, they good. They ain't even tripping. You see? And this is the state of the people under the devil. Okay. And this is why the Lord is coming to rule up this whole kingdom, man. Okay. Because it's all bad, man. Okay. So let's go here to let's play this. Well, let's go to this precept. And we can end it here, Good spot to land. This is 2nd Ezra 4:28. He said, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Okay? So as Ezra is inquiring about the end, the angel let him know, like, look, wickedness has been sown in the earth, but it's not time for that and destruction yet. All right, because there's one final destruction that's going to take place, and that's the destruction of the kingdom of Esau, Edom. Okay, and this will be the last heathen that will be in power. Okay, and this is kingdom that runs the earth. You know, so there was always a build up, and everything was always a build up to this time. The perfection of the sons of God, and the destruction of the wicked once and for all. Okay, this man being removed from power. Okay, there's gonna be a slaughter from one end of the earth to the other. Okay, there's gonna be a captivity for Esau and these heathens that were in conglomerate with this nigga. You see, and after 1,000 years, Esau gonna be done away with, man. Okay, he said, therefore, that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. Okay, so good can't come until this place is completely uprooted out of the earth, man. And that's what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. You see, and we begun the process in the spirit by spiritually uprooting this place, man. All right, because the roots of this kingdom is based in deception and lies. Okay, but the truth is rooting up, is pulling up this kingdom by the roots, man. All right, exposing the deception. Okay, identifying the problem, man. The earth has an Edomite problem. Okay, the earth has an Edomite infestation. Okay, this nigga has way too much liberty and authority in the earth. Okay, and he's not built for rulership in any capacity. Okay, and that's what's being brought out. So, yeah, man, that's the point. You know, just want to get into that. You know, Lord will, you know, you brothers. All right, and you sisters edify once again. I'm going to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Bakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutation to hopefully Shalom.